Chemical clues to human evolution from fish.
Human beings are still fish.
Human ears evolved from ancient fish gills.
We came out of the ground as a mammal.
Heavier dinosaur arms led evolution to birds.
Do you think we're related to pigs? Do you think we've got a common ancestor in pigs?
Yes.
Proof that fearsome T-Rex evolved into a chicken.
You think you're a primate?
Yes, I am.
Are you a talking primate?
I am.
You're a cousin of bananas?
Why, yes.
When whales walked the land.
I'm accepting that they did their science correctly.
I generally trust the scientific community.
I'm gonna trust what those experts did. Those experts came up with.
Darwinian evolution rests on faith, and once again, according to Richard Dawkins, faith is the great cop-out, the great excuse to evade the need to think and evaluate evidence. Darwinian evolution requires great faith. The knowledge of God, however, is clearly seen by all mankind. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even as eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools.
Dear God, why didn't you save the school children at Moses Lake, Washington, Bethel, Alaska, Pearl, Mississippi, West Paducah, Kentucky, Stamp, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, Fayetteville, Tennessee, Springfield, Oregon, Richmond, Virginia, Littleton, Colorado, Tabor, Alberta, Canada, Conyers, Georgia, Deming, New Mexico, Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, Santee, California, El Cajon, California, Blacksburg, Virginia. Sincerely, concerned student. Reply: Dear concerned student, I am not allowed in schools. Sincerely, God. How did this get started? I think it started when Madeline Murray O'Hare complained she didn't want any prayer in our schools. And we said, okay. Then someone said you better not read the Bible in school. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and love your neighbors yourself. And we said, okay. Dr. Benjamin Spock said we shouldn't spank our children when they misbehave, because their personalities would be warped, and we might damage their self-esteem. And we said, an expert should know what he's talking about, so we won't spank them anymore. Then someone said, teachers and principals better not discipline our children when they misbehave. And the school administrator said, no faculty member in this school better touch a student when they misbehave, because we don't want any bad publicity, and we surely don't want to be sued. And we accepted their reasoning. Then someone said, let's let our daughters have abortions if they want, and they won't even have to tell their parents. And we said, that's a grand idea. Then some wise school board member said, since boys will be boys and they're going to do it anyway, let's give our sons all the condoms they want, so they can have all the fun they desire, and we won't have to tell their parents they got them at school. And we said, that's another great idea. Then some of our top elected officials said, it doesn't matter what we do in private, as long as we do our jobs. And we said, it doesn't matter what anybody, including the president, does in private, as long as we have jobs and the economy is good. And someone else took that appreciation a step further and published pictures of nude children, and then steps further by making them available on the internet. And we said, everyone's entitled to free speech. And the entertainment industry said, let's make TV shows and movies that promote profanity, violence, and illicit sex. And let's record music that encourages rape, drugs, murder, suicide, and satanic themes. And we said, it's just entertainment, and it has no adverse effect, and nobody takes it seriously anyway. So go right ahead. Now we're asking ourselves why our children have no conscience, why they don't know right from wrong, and why it doesn't bother them to kill strangers, classmates, or even themselves. Undoubtedly, if we thought about it long and hard enough, we could figure it out. Surely it has a great deal to do with, we reap what we sow.
Brandy Vela's sister begged her not to die just before the 18-year-old took her own life in front of her family at her home in Texas City. Authorities are investigating whether cyberbullying allegedly drove the young woman to shoot herself in the chest. Her parents claim the teen had been receiving anonymous text and Facebook messages criticizing her looks and weight. According to police, an ambulance took Brandy to a local hospital where
I've heard
she
of
was
many
pronounced
stories
dead.
like that where girls kill
School
themselves
officials
because they're just
confirmed she reported
this.
the harassment, and an investigation found the
Oh, you're
messages
fat,
untraceable.
you're this, you're
they
that.
added that cyberbullying is taken seriously
Social
and will
media
penalize
as well,
to the full
like, they
extent
feel
of the
ugly
law
and they
for
kill
any
themselves.
violations.
Hundreds
A
of
prayer
times.
vigil in Brandy's memory is scheduled in the school's parking lot for tonight.
It's probably happened.
Do you know when your girlfriend cheats on you and you fucking break her mat, the dirty slag? She's outside here crying, the dirty little fucking slag. Look, I'll fuck up her whole room as well. What you do when your dirty girlfriend cheats on you? That's what you fucking do. When she cheats on you, you fucking do that, slag. So basically, my girl cheated on me, innit? And like, this is what happens, innit? You just fuck up her shit, because she has slag in it, and this is what you do, this is what happens when girls fucking act. I'm gonna break her fucking face. I think I broke her jaw, but that's the best fucking thing, innit? Like, yo, she's due to get clotheslined in a hot set. She best fucking stay out there through that door, slag. Hey, clap this, clap this,
Can
clap this,
hear
clap
her
this.
crying.
Yeah. One for the real man, them out here. Slag. Ringing her mum off her phone. Gonna fuck her up. Here she is, the slag. The fucking slag. Yeah, well fucking done. You fucking cheated on me like a dickhead. You? Get the fuck out of my face. Go, what you doing? Don't fucking try to beg for forgiveness. Go fuck off, go on, fuck off. What are you gonna do? Look, you little slag. Get the fuck up. Get off me.
Sanjay, stop.
Fuck off. Look, get the fuck away from me, slag. Believe me, brother, you don't want to cheat on me, fam. I'll take your fucking life apart. Trust me. Within 5 seconds. Stand begging to my sister on the floor. Fucking slag. Begging. Look, she's actually begging on the floor to my sister. The dirty fucking slag. Fuck you, you scat. Fuck you. I hope you die. You just don't do them things, you know what I mean? You just don't do them things. Stupid, really.
The New York Times, this one happens to be the April 24th, has a story I'm sure that many of you are watching are familiar with this story. Man charged with infecting son with blood tainted by HIV, and the reason he did it was so he wouldn't have to pay child support. Here's the story. The man separated from his wife, seeking divorce, did not want to pay child support. He infected his son. He happened to be a medical tech of some sort. He infected his own son with HIV so that the boy would die and he would not have to pay child support. How's that for cold? Unbelievable.
That's incredible. And then there was the mother, Wilda Lopez in New York City, who took her little daughter, Elisa, after 6 years of abuse, continual abuse. She took that 6-year-old just a few days from her 7th birthday and smashed her head against a brick wall. Killed her.
Then we have in the Time magazine, this one, or the Newsweek magazine, this one happens to be November 10th, 1997. The story of the au pair, the British au pair, that is a child care girl coming over on an exchange program, living with a family in the East. And this girl was found guilty of murdering the boy she was charged with keeping, and of course denied
Think of all the
having done
cases
anything
that
wrong.
happen
The
every
jury
day. Since
peers in that community
2018,
found
since
her
whenever
guilty
this
of
was
murder.
made, like 90s.
There was the 2 children in Chicago, I believe it was Chicago, the 2 boys that took
Things we don't hear about,
neighbor child,
that happen
held him out the window by his
right
feet
now.
upside down, and then dropped him, I think, about
It's
4
just,
stories to
oh
his death.
my
That's right.
goodness.
Just absolutely incredible. There was Amy Grossberg and Brian Peterson in Newark, Delaware, who gave...
Let me pause this. Just, I was so amazed when I first heard 2 Timothy chapter 3. In the last days, perilous times shall come. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, despiteful. And then when you go to Romans, it's like another version of that in its own way. And I must have been 17 when I read it. I'll never forget it when I was on my front lawn with my friend Luke trying to show him. And I had to make a video about it. So I just gathered as much clips as possible, and it always got banned by YouTube. So hopefully this way we'll give it a green light.
Birth to a baby, and they both conspired together, killed a child, put it in a garbage bag, and then in the dumpster at the hotel, and were caught.
A new synthetic killer drug known as Flakka is spreading rapidly across the United States and already causing an epidemic of overdose fatalities and acts of violence.
We're talking about Flakka. Flakka? The drug is called Flakka. Some have dubbed it the insanity drug. And it's everywhere. It's been described as the scariest drug in the world. More powerful than heroin or cocaine.
This is a synthetic drug that can
Possessed.
alter your state of mind, raising excited delirium, body temperature, and literally losing their mind.
You're all experiencing like superhuman kind of strength.
Possessed.
It takes 6 policemen to hold them down. That's a problem.
What
Psychotic breakdowns, hallucinations.
Bro.
Cannibalism.
Getting tased like 3 times and don't even go down. Just growling.
We are living in the context of the end of the age.
Stephen Quayle.
We are a nation under judgment. But if you think it's bad, wait until you see what really bad is.
We are here driving, and there's a guy that jumped on our hood of our car.
Illinois, Ohio, Texas, Kentucky, California, and Florida, especially hard.
Florida is now the epicenter of the outbreak.
There's been many crazy stories of people having unbelievable strength.
Some people would have like superhuman strength. People have taken Flakka, and it's taken 6 police officers to hold them down.
People carrying off their clothes, running around the streets naked.
In Revelation 18, there's a very, very important passage. In that passage, if you read it, you will find very clearly that the kings of the earth and the great merchants of the earth conspire together. And it says they do sorcery, and the word used there is pharmakia, which is the use of drugs to control the activities of the world. And it says through this, they deceive the nations of the earth. So in conclusion to this mass invocation of demonic spirits in people, drugs play a key role in opening portals and contacting the spirit world.
What was going on in your body, in your mind? What was happening to you?
I never experienced anything like that before. I felt that I was possessed, and I kept trying to stop whatever was in me.
You described this as, you said, was it like hell on the inside or the devil? How did you describe it?
It felt so evil. It felt like the most darkest, evilest thing that is imaginable.
Many of them will see dead bodies that whether it be animals or humans. They can actually feel the body, they can see the body. Others are seeing people following them.
There were visuals I would get that were so grotesque. There were like nothing I could ever even think of, or nothing I've seen in movies. It felt very demonic, very evil.
The consumption of substances with psychotropic properties are becoming increasingly significant. The impact is already happening in society with the number of people who are succumbing to the spiritual impacts of drug consumption and other kind of occult activity, and as well as the increase in psychotic violence that's occurring.
I think that we're going to see waves of this that...
A night of sorrow in Southern California. Friends and family mourning the loss of 13-year-old Rosalie Avila. The teen took her own life after being relentlessly bullied at school.
I woke up and there was screaming, and I had to find my daughter hanging in her room.
Rosalie left behind a letter apologizing, calling herself ugly and a loser. Suicide is now one of the leading causes of death among young people. Nearly 6,000 took their own lives in 2015. Child therapist Cheryl Ziegler says bullying is an epidemic.
What we're seeing is that this has a tremendous effect on the fragile, growing brain of a child.
It's particularly dire in Colorado, where teen suicides have doubled over the last 10 years.
It's a nightmare for any mother.
In Aurora, the parents of Ashanti Davis are heartbroken. They say their daughter took her own life after being bullied. She was just 10 years old.
We just want parents to know that you got to be in your children's life, because This is reality now. We gotta bury our baby.
State Representative Daphne Michelson-Janae is one of several Colorado lawmakers exploring legislation to combat the problem.
This is a problem, it is real, it is an issue, and we have a responsibility as a community to stop it.
A plea for awareness to prevent another night like this. Steve Patterson, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Mr. Smith made a choice to come into my home on November 24th, 2014. He made a choice to forcefully violate me and set into motion a series of events that drastically altered my life, and not only mine, but those of the people who I love and who care for me.
Smith is accused of breaking into dozens of homes and raping at least 9 women dating back 6 years.
Bro.
He pleaded guilty to those 9 cases.
I don't think that the guidelines lead out enough punishment for him. Because I want him to have to face up to what he's done.
He's pathological. He's serial. I don't think he knows how to stop.
He is a danger to the community. He's a danger to women. He just cannot resist. Can I say one thing? No, go back. Your Honor. Well, it's okay with me. Good luck to you, buddy.
And Smith, we're told, will be eligible for parole in 55 years. Back to you.
Well, Jonathan, there is a list of communities in which he victimized women.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Dinner.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you?
Yeah.
Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Oh. Drops, turns around, bang.
Well, you know what it is, man? It's like supporting transgender rights eclipses all the logic involved in the subtle nuances of human behavior and sexuality. And the idea that a 3-year-old could have any notion of like what it's going to be like to be 8, or what it's going to be like to be 16, or whether or not hormonal changes are going to affect the way he expresses himself. So, and also, you're looking at this kid and you're deciding that this kid, because they're 3, is going to be transgender and you want to turn them into a girl. What if this kid decides he's a gay man in 5 years?
They kill themselves.
Right. What if they decide that they're bisexual in 20 years? You know, if you care about that child, you don't interfere with that process, because I'm not the same thing that I was when I was 3, and you're not either. No one is. So to inject hormones and chemicals and even surgery, that we really have a very limited understanding about how much this interaction between a scalpel and a baby body, how much of the impact that has. You're giving someone the green light? Is that they're talking about like making this kid a eunuch?
Well, yeah, they won't go through puberty, and so then it's like,
what are they saying though? What are they saying they were going to do?
It's called hormone blockers.
My name is not important. What is important is what I'm going to do. I just fucking hate this world and these human worms feasting on its carcass. My whole life is just cold, bitter hatred. And I always wanted to die violently. This is the time of vengeance, and no life is worth saving. And I will put in the grave as many as I can. It's time for me to kill. And it's time for me to die.
Guys are freaking.
I have been calling you from the bottom of the steps.
Is this about the freaking dishes?
Yes.
I said later.
I said we need to eat
My
dinner.
friends can hear you. Give me a freaking second.
You better freaking hurry up.
Mic.
Hurry up, William.
I muted it, okay?
I'm hungry.
Stop. Now get out of here, Mom.
No, you need to get down and do the dishes.
I'm playing the game with my friend.
William, I need you. You promised me to do them. I've been helping you out with things. Now it's your turn to help.
How about you get up off your lazy butt for once to do them?
So basically, this is what all the hype is about. You go around and you kill as many innocent people as you can. Dude, they don't even know where I am. Ravage the market. Oh my god, all these people, they're just buying groceries for their families. They're buying groceries for their families. I'm gonna execute this girl. Oh, right in the forehead. Oh, man.
Who washes your clothes?
I don't know.
Who gives you rides? Who sweeps the floor? Who vacuums? Who cuts the grass?
Mom, shut up.
No.
Get out of here.
I'll tell you what. You keep playing your game.
Later.
But you better play it offline because the internet is getting turned off.
Don't turn off the freaking...
No, you're going to come down and do those dishes.
Don't turn off the freaking internet.
Well, I don't know. Are you going to do the dishes? Are you going to do dishes?
Yes, Mom!
Well, then duh. And be a little nicer. Don't have an attitude.
Hey. Taking my dick in my pants. Like, bro. Taking my dick in my pants. Like, bro. I give her this, yeah, man. Oh, that shit straight to the booth.
So wait, I'm confused.
You stack them in there neatly.
It's stacking.
No, William, that won't. You maniac!
A manhunt is underway to find the person German police say stabbed his 9-year-old neighbor to death and posted a video of the crime online. Police say 19-year-old Marcel Hesse made a video of himself killing the child, then holding up his bloody hands while boasting about what he did. Another user reportedly alerted authorities to the video. Police say they found the boy's body in the basement of a home with stab wounds. People in the neighborhood held a vigil for the child while police searched for their prime suspect.
You know, I don't often sit up here and say this, but I'm saying it today. I'm sharing this next story with you because it's one of those stories that makes me angry. Makes me sad, and it makes me angry. Sad for a child whose life was cut short. Angry because there were red flags. And he wasn't saved from horrible treatment that his little body just couldn't endure. These are photos of 10-year-old Jonathan James and his twin brother Joseph. We know what happened in the days leading up to Jonathan's death last month, in part because Joseph witnessed it. Investigators in Dallas say Jonathan was deprived of water for 5 days as punishment in late July. 5 days that ended when Jonathan collapsed from dehydration, from shaking and moaning. Adults in the house, they called 911, but it was too late to revive him. He died at the hospital. And according to our affiliate, WFAA in Dallas, the no water punishment was doled out because Jonathan had stolen guitar strings from his older stepbrother. There had also been other reports that Jonathan was being punished for wetting the bed. Listen to his surviving twin brother describe what life was like at their father's home this summer.
They made him eat a PB&J, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the peanut butter got stuck in his throat. They still wouldn't let him have water. It made him stand in front of the window that they put an X on the floor and an X on the window, and the sun was coming straight through it, and there was no air conditioning there, and I couldn't do nothing about it. And because if I said something, I would end up getting in trouble too.
10. His father and stepmother were arrested this past Friday night, charged with injury to a child causing serious bodily injury. The boy's grandmother told the Dallas Morning News Jonathan had called her and asked, quote, "Can I come to your house instead? I know I'm going to be in trouble while I'm there because I always am." Chilling words. Jonathan knew he'd be in trouble, but he had no way of knowing he would die. When you imagine the fear he must have felt, it's hard to believe no one was able to save him. I am going to tell stories like Jonathan's, just like I told you about Amy Deal last month and Christian Choate the month before, because they are children and they can't look after themselves, and we can do better.
The sex slaves are right here in brothels in your backyard. Girls as young as 12, plucked from their homes in Latin America and trafficked to cities all over the U.S.
Are the girls here pretty? Son bonitas? Aquí. Go on.
Yeah. This is nothing more than modern day slavery.
No motherfucking magic. Work out. Wait.
I switched from money at the ceiling. It didn't show up for some reason.
We got a first-hand look inside a brothel just minutes after it was shut down.
As you can see, you've got beds that are here where they're consummating the prostitution. Just a makeshift type bed with a drape for a little privacy, but not much. This one is actually a room, so it's a little bit more privacy.
So yeah, so there's just basically a mattress, a small bed.
Don't know what that was.
For years, she was held captive by a Tenancingo pimp and forced to work these streets as a sex slave before she managed to escape.
He made me to work overtime, almost 24 hours. I saw around 60
men a week?
No, per day.
60 men a day?
Yes. So by the end of the day, I was bleeding.
How are you?
Do you think that more should be done around the United States to combat sex trafficking?
It's going to take a lot of effort on a lot of fronts to end this form of modern day slavery.
I honestly don't even know where to start, so I'll just start from top to bottom. Yeezy Red Octobers, Fragment 1, Off-White Nike. White Yeezys that are actually dirty because I actually wear them. Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys. Off-White Air Maxes, and more Yeezys. And one last pair of Yeezys. Versace slippers, Off-White Air Prestos, Nikes, green Adidas MMDs, red Adidas MMDs, black Adidas MMDs, pink MMDs, Jordan Supreme 5 collaboration. Nike Supreme collaboration. You thought that was it for the Yeezys? More
This reminds me of One Beat Music.
Brick
His
OVO
bedroom.
Jordans, I forgot what number, like 8 or something. Shoes that I don't know the name of, but they're self-tying, so they're cool. Oh shit, it's blinking, Ethan. Shoes that look like just plain black shoes, but wait, let's zoom in. Skechers, Raf Simons, Y3 Adidas, and these are black and white, so I wore them with everything, and they're so messy. These, a lot of you YouTube young viewers probably have no idea what these are, but let's be honest, these are sick. And these I actually got for free. Shout out Ian Connor, he's the creator of these shoes. These are mad rare, and for some reason it reminds me of Vans. I don't know why, but it just kind of does. Gucci flip-flops.
That was my Dante.
Yeah.
Just starting the 3rd grade.
On his second day of 3rd grade at Oak Ridge Elementary in South Sacramento, 8-year-old Dante Daniels didn't make it to school. He would never make it here again.
This guy beat my grandson with a hammer down to his spine and couldn't save his brain.
Early in the morning on September 1st, investigators say his mother's ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old DeAndre Cheney Jr., attacked Dante with that hammer. A criminal complaint alleges he also used lighter fluid. 6 days later, Dante died, but remembering him
He was a little...
brings a smile to his grandmother's face.
He was a lot sensitive. He didn't play with the kids that were rough. He didn't. He played baseball.
And in his final moments awake,
Small as he was.
Monique Brown says that the 8-year-old was a hero showing incredible courage in the face of his accused killer.
Trying to save his sister from his child molester, and that's why he was beat the worst.
The criminal complaint states that Cheney Jr. murdered Dante while he was engaged in the crime of committing a lewd act on his sister. At some point, investigators say Cheney Jr. turned the hammer and a knife on her, as well as her mother. Brown wants the community to see how Cheney left them for dead. 28-year-old Elizabeth Salone.
She's doing okay. She probably will never see out of her left eye.
And 7-year-old Danae.
My granddaughter, she will need a whole lot of help.
What's helped them persevere through the suffering? These cards, flowers, and candles from the community. Their faith in God and in the fact that evil was not strong enough to steal Dante's heart.
Dante gave his heart to a 4-year-old in Southern California till that 4-year-old lived
because of this little boy.
I thought we might start the show tonight with a little bit of geography. Do you like geography? Here's a map of the United States. Do you know what this map is? That's right, the most sexually diseased states.
The CDC has sounded the alarm, stating that STDs like chlamydia, syphilis, and gonorrhea are at all-time record highs.
On June 12, 2016, a gunman killed 49 and injured as many at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. 32 people were killed and several more injured by a student at Virginia Tech on April 16, 2007.
It certainly ranks as one of the worst mass shootings in this country.
A shooter killed 20 elementary school children, 6 teachers, and his mother in Newtown, Connecticut on December 14, 2012. In a cafeteria in Killeen, Texas on October 16, 1991, a man killed 23 people and injured almost 24. Since World War II, there have been half a dozen mass shootings in the U.S.
What we have in places like this, you have a ledger of the girls that work here. As you can see, the X's, these are the amount of tricks that they've done tonight. And they will pay him a fee and grab a napkin, condom, this gel, and they'll go to the room. See right there, there's a wrap, a package of a condom.
And it's just dozens and dozens of men coming in and out of places like this. And women just
having sex 15 minutes, and let's move on to the next guy.
Authorities believe many of these women could be sex slaves, brought to the U.S. against their will. They are the merchandise, bought, sold, and traded by a vast international network of human traffickers and pimps.
Is this a profitable business?
Human trafficking is the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world because it's all about the money. Think about it. Drugs, you sell once. Women and children, you sell time and time again.
There's got to be something radical about a gathering of 15,000 queer women. From New Jersey to New Zealand, the lesbians are coming in droves, and they travel in packs. Houston girls, YouTube stars, LA lesbians, people from Denver, so lesbians, and girls who have taken playing for the same team to the next level. It's actually so scary. It's time to go down there.
It's like lesbian Disneyland. Straight people have spring break, they have Vegas. Gay men have all kinds of events.
So you guys are a couple?
Huh? Yeah, we're engaged.
I'm a virgin. The first year. Mine too. Well, I've been coming to Dinah for 5 years.
This is my 8th time here. Dinah Shore is actually really popular in Los Angeles.
This is my first time coming out here specifically to let loose before we have a baby.
Sex, drugs, titties,
And twerking.
twerking.
So just figured, get into a weekend of debauchery before we can't anymore.
Grindr is an app for men to meet other men.
I mean, I have like a Tinder. It's like they're probably like the same thing.
It's an app for guys who can see other guys in their general area who are like down to clown, so to speak.
I know it works off of geolocating.
Grindr is a way for gay people to find other gay people so they can connect.
How often do you think the typical gay male uses Grindr?
Every weekend.
Twice a week?
I mean, it depends, obviously. But if you're like a single guy, I would think constantly, probably.
I assume that it's, for some men, a daily thing.
I'm going to assume they use it as often as straight dudes use Tinder, which is every day.
You're on your phone, I'm assuming you're on it right now.
I think I would if I was looking to have sex with dudes and there was a really easy way to do it. I would probably do it constantly.
Hi, are you Courtney from Tinder? You must be Glenn. I got you these. A lovely bouquet for a lovely...
Yeah, take off your pants and sit on the coffee table.
Okay. That was great. And we can still make our reservation.
What? Why? We already had sex.
Wait, so I don't have to make small talk with you or spend any money?
Of course not. Here, wipe yourself off with this West Elm catalog.
My God, this app is amazing! Thank you, cell phone Jesus!
Huh? Oh, yeah, fine.
Yeah, I want to be the first social media billionaire.
I wouldn't doubt you doing it, man.
Oh, I'm going to.
Enjoy a carnival atmosphere. If they look hard enough, they will also witness widespread prostitution, incredible poverty, and children driven to extreme measures to survive. This is a typical scene. A 14-year-old boy whose identity we must protect coughs and struggles to stay upright before inhaling more fumes of glue. And almost everywhere I look, children are holding bottles just like him.
Sai dessa. É só pra mim. Só Deus. Só Deus que vai lhe ajudar.
Known as cola, this is the drug of choice on the streets of Recife because it's cheap and effective. Brazil is spending £6.5 billion hosting the World Cup, yet it's estimated up to 8 million children are living on the streets in abject poverty.
Mukesh Ambani, fourth on the list of the world's richest people, has a net worth of $29 billion. He decided to invest his wealth into his home. He built an incredible 27-story skyscraper just for personal use. The building is worth approximately $2 billion. It has 4 million square feet of interior space and stands 550 feet above Mumbai's slums, watching over the poverty-stricken land juxtaposed to the incredible building reaching for the sky. The home has over 600 caretakers making sure the household functions. It is the world's most expensive private residence, after the Buckingham Palace.
How young is the youngest child you've seen here who has been picked up for sex?
10, 12, 13, 14.
10, 12,
A
13,
idade que tiver, não passa. É se engraçar e escolhe. Muitas vai por necessidade, vai porque está usando isso, vai quando está lombrada, para ganhar o dinheiro para sobreviver.
I go to talk to a group of children. One girl reveals she has been selling herself for sex since the age of 11.
And how much does it charge? How much does it charge?
5
reais is about £1.50.
Disturbing development. Police announced more victims than they first thought in the assault case of a former Charles County coach. Vic is in the newsroom with the latest on this case. Vic?
Well, the news, a Maryland State's Attorney announced today that Carlos Bell allegedly assaulted 24 students between May 2015 and June 2017. Bell has been indicted on 119 counts. The 30-year-old worked as an instructional assistant and track coach at La Plata High School. Police say he also worked at J.P. Ryan Elementary in Waldorf and McDonough High School in Pomfret. Bell is HIV positive. He was originally arrested in July on child pornography charges. Bell also faces 12 counts of child sexual abuse. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Vic. Now the investigation is still ongoing, and officials are asking anyone with information, contact the FBI.
That good, really weird. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Any fucking clock. I'm really clock.
Holla!
Yeah?
Huh?
think you will $5. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell them. You're gonna buy 2. It'll cost out the same thing as 1.
Yeah.
Bobby. Bobby.
You think it's bad now? You think the drug problem now is creating wickedness? We ain't seen nothing yet. And the reason why, folks, is once you start using drugs, you don't just open physical doors. You open spiritual doors.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
Look at this bird. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's so damn loud, bro.
And folks, believe it or not, the experts are saying this is the tip of the iceberg, man. We ain't seen nothing yet. It is about to get worse all across the planet. Speaking of zombies and weird stuff like that, okay, what's another drug lately even in the news we've been hearing about? Of all things, bath salt. Bath salt, right? And it's one thing if a person apparently wants to use bath salts, which obviously we don't recommend, but what have we seen as that usage of that drug, of bath salts as a drug? What does it cause people to do? Horrific things. You talk about wickedness, they're eating their faces off, right?
This 19-year-old Austin Haroof, he is a student at FSU. It took 4 deputies using tasers, a canine biting Haroof to take him down after deputies say they found him actually biting one of his murder victims. 2 people were killed and another man was hurt after deputies say the suspect, 19-year-old Austin Haroof, was found biting the face of one of his victims.
When she got there, she realized that the offender was actually biting the victim in the face and causing what turned out to be some substantial trauma to his face from bite marks.
The gruesome murder happened in the driveway of a home along Southeast Kokomo Lane. It's there a neighbor heard screams and ran to help, but was stabbed by Haroof. 2 people were killed. A husband and wife were found stabbed to death, as the sheriff now questions Haroof to find out the motive behind this crime.
She used her taser. I shot the suspect with the taser. It did not work. She took a hold of him and tried to pull him off, but he was exhibiting normal levels of strength. I shot the suspect with the taser. It did not work.
See, that's the lie. You're not just taking a physical trip, you're taking a spiritual trip. Been there, done that, wish I would not have bought the t-shirt. You see, once you take drugs, folks, it puts your mind into an altered state of consciousness. It puts your mind into an altered state of consciousness, and drugs, by the way, are just one of the ways that you can get into an altered state of consciousness, open up spiritual doors that you don't want to mess with.
Ugly ass out the straight. What the fuck is wrong with you? Bitch, you is one high motherfucker right now. This is some fucking crazy. She like climbing up the wall. Some exorcist shit right here, yo. Get your ass up, you crazy bitch. No, you ain't stuck. You're moving, you asshole. Get off the brick. No, somebody done gave you some wrong shit. What the fuck wrong with this bitch? Hey. No, ain't nobody helping you. You dirty as shit. Don't get hit by a car, douchebag. Come here! Come here, forget! Forget ass here! Don't touch.
I'm trying to tell you, that's what it is, yo. It's a Molly, yo. Yeah, that's how Molly's act. Yo, some people can take it, some people can't take it. Just like with that wet.
Yes, you are, baby. What the fuck that happened to you? A double in that ass, girl. What the fuck happened to your ass? Hey, what the fuck? There's exorcism! I'm so sorry. I know you're sorry, girl. Hey, you got that good shit up in your ass. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Oh, that's not no wet. I'm gonna tell you this though, Pop. If he ain't smoking wet, he'd have took off his clothes off. That's what wet make motherfuckers do. This motherfuckers act like that, it be that Molly, yo. I see that shit on the news all the time and shit. Like, yo, like, you must got a bad batch and shit. Like, I probably could take it. I never took it before, but I probably take it before. He's probably take it, but then another motherfucker take it be fucked up, just like that. You never see the news on both.
Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Marvin, get up. Marvin. Get up, Marvin. Yo, you
help me.
shit. Get up.
His legs.
Yeah.
What the fuck? She knocked herself out.
Pray for me.
What the fuck is wrong with you, girl?
His legs.
Watch your man, yo. I'm not touching that nigga, yo.
I'm high as a bitch. I'm high, but I don't feel like you, though. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Oh, shit, bang her fucking head. I ain't wait till fucking.
Tá só. Opa. Olha solto, né, mano? Tá deitado no meio da pista. Viu? Você via ali, eu parei lá no mapa. Eu via pra ele também, eu tava na pista que era outra vida. Tá deitado na. Tava deitado. Tá dormindo. Ai, que maluco, velho. Ele parou, falei, se for assalto, ele já podia.
It's not just physical, it's spiritual. Once you get into an altered state of consciousness, you open up spiritual doors. You will open yourself up to demonic forces to come in and now take control of you.
A 1-year-old boy died this weekend. Police say he was held in boiling water more than a month ago. The man accused in the baby's death is his mother's boyfriend, a man with a checkered past. Tonight, in an exclusive interview, Jabrail and Babel's mother speaks to News 8 and the Dallas Morning News. Here's Rebecca Lopez.
For more than 5 weeks, 1-year-old Jabrail and Babels battled for his life.
Such
a small baby like that, having to go through anything like that.
His legs and hands burned so severely that his little body couldn't fight off the infections. Fable died this weekend. His mother's boyfriend is accused of causing his death.
I wish it was me laying in his spot.
His mother says she's still searching for answers. Her boyfriend, Cornelius Simmons, was babysitting the child when he claims he burned him accidentally.
Cornelius, he called me and he told me that the baby was burned. That he had accidentally burned the baby, a pot of water fell around him.
But police say it was no accident. They say the 1-year-old was dipped and held in boiling water. Simmons has a violent past. He was convicted of killing a man in a bar fight in 1994. He got a 15-year prison sentence for the crime.
I walked out that day thinking that I was going to come home to him, and I didn't.
Leaving Braylon with Simmons is a decision Jasmine Thompson says she'll regret forever.
I came home to a burnt baby.
The baby's father says he's still trying to understand how someone could hurt his son.
I see a beautiful angel. I see a baby that could never be hurt by anybody. It's hard for me to believe in my heart that anybody would hurt my child. Beautiful and nice and just happy.
Police have arrested Simmons and plan to charge him with the murder of this innocent child. Rebecca Lopez, Channel 8 News.
That's cool. Tell your big nigger boyfriend after he watches me lynches his fucking daughters, I'm gonna lynch him while this baby's mom watch. And you watch too. I'm gonna take my whack dick and I'm gonna fucking rape you with it. You stupid little cunt. You done fucked up, bitch. You thought crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Family tragedy that has everyone asking why.
Yeah, why would a mother kill her husband and 2 sons before turning the gun on herself? Neighbors are telling us tonight they never saw this coming. Investigators say the 4 were found dead in a room in the San Luis Hotel in Galveston this morning. The family is from Baytown. We sent Larry Seward there tonight to talk with stunned neighbors. Larry?
Lynn, that family originally from El Salvador. They shared that house behind me with Flora's mom. And tonight, neighbors, many of them in tears, left asking why. Flor Pineda, her husband Mauricio Morales, their 10-year-old son Mauricio Jr., and 5-year-old David all died in Galveston. According to police, they are murder-suicide on the 8th floor of the San Luis Hotel Resort. Investigators say Flor shot her husband first, her 2 sons, then turned the gun on herself. Neighbors here in Baytown saw no signs of trouble. They actually called the couple beautiful people, religious, always polite, friendly, helpful. Flor threw birthday parties for her sons. She even hand-delivered candy with Bible verses to friends on occasion.
She was very friendly. She waved at us. Her husband was very friendly. And Daniel and Mauricio, they would ride their little bicycles, tricycles on my driveway. And if they saw me outside, they would get off those bikes and come hug me.
Meant a lot to you.
Meant more than a lot. Just to see little young people so in love with you.
All of this happening one day before schools here in Baytown reopened following their winter break. David was in kindergarten. Mauricio Jr. was in the 5th grade at Victoria Walker Elementary School, which is less than a mile away from this neighborhood. Tomorrow, when class resumes, Goose Creek ISD telling us they will have counselors there to help comfort those grieving classmates, teachers, and staff. Live in Baytown. Standing for Houston, I'm Larry Seward, KHON.
China began a quiet sexual revolution just a generation ago. But changing attitudes are being driven by commerce, and that has some strange effects. One of those shy, tech-savvy young men is Zheng Jiajia. He runs an AI company and married his sex doll in April in a mock ceremony to protest the Chinese dating scene. Why did you decide to marry a robot?
首先是我作为一个科技宅男跟这个恋爱小白，可能有时候真的有这种需求啊。张大伯为什么要做了一个 Facebook， 就是因为类似的，就是比如说我这个一直这个没追到妹子，我就自己做一个嘛。
Oh, that's black. It's happened a few times.
No, non sono contento del mio corpo perfetto perché non è perfetto. La mia perfezione è un'altra cosa.
Transgender Fulvia Pellegrino has spent €80,000 over the last 15 years transforming her body through surgery.
Non è una droga la chirurgia estetica, ma è un bisogno mio e di altre persone come me. Siccome non sono contento del mio viso e di altre parti del corpo.
Now Fulvia is determined to become the woman she feels she's meant to be, even if it means more surgery.
Io non mi fermo qua, voglio andare avanti nella chirurgia estetica, perché questa è imperfezione. Quando avrò raggiunto la perfezione, forse mi fermerò.
Everyone thought Ariel Castro was just a typical father and a hard-working bus driver. What they didn't know is that he was holding 3 young girls captive in his home for years. When Amanda Berry, one of his prisoners, was able to escape and alert the police, Ariel was arrested.
It was a Christmas gift one mother had no interest in bringing home to her family. Police say a newborn was found in the trash outside a Walmart in Louisiana. Investigators say 34-year-old Keandra Thomas was collecting donations for the Salvation Army outside the store. That's when they say she went into labor, giving birth in the store's bathroom before dumping the infant. This is a photo of Thomas posted to what's believed to be her Facebook page when she was about 5 months pregnant. Detectives note this isn't her first run-in with the law. In 2009, court records reveal Thomas was sentenced to 5 years probation and community service for the death of this 3-year-old after she was left in a hot car for hours. The baby, who police temporarily named Olivia, is now in the hospital. It was a miracle they found her before it was too late.
Anytime an infant is left unattended for the first 4 hours or so of its life, it's life-threatening. I feel that the baby probably had minutes to seconds to live.
Investigators say an Atlanta mom put her 1- and 2-year-old children in an oven and turned it on. Lamora Williams is charged with murder and has been denied bail. Another 3-year-old child was found unharmed inside of the home, but family members say that child saw what happened. Take a listen.
My nephew, while he was watching whatever was going on in this house, and he came and talked to me and told me and see what was going on. That baby seen everything.
The sister and mother of Lamora Williams say they reached out to family services several times. Here they are.
She had issues. The fact that the state failed her, that's a problem. I did tell defects everything because I wanted for them to either to give me the kids or get the kids out of her possession.
The father of the children says Williams called him by video chat to tell him his children were dead. He called police after seeing his sons on the floor. Matt Uris for CBSMiami.com.
I was 14 years old.
You were 14 years old.
I remember this.
And you came to Portsmouth then?
I came to Portsmouth as a juvenile.
Yeah, and what was your sentence?
My sentence was 9 years.
But how comes you've been here so long then?
In the present, I go to the 28th. They told me, okay, I give you a number and you must kill a guy in the cell. And they give me a knife. And the other guy came and they strangled him. And I took the knife and stabbed him in his heart. And 2 times the blood come out.
Yeah. And you did that because you were ordered to, yeah?
Yes.
Because you were 28, yeah?
28 years.
So the warder's frightened of you?
If there is a warder, it's not a right here in person. I told the 27, you what the 27 is, there's a knife for you. You must kill the warder or the major or the captain. And the 27th, they told me, salute, my brother, and go. You can watch. And then I go to the cell there.
Yeah, and you watch.
And then watch.
So what would happen if the 27s didn't follow your orders?
I kill them. Because we cannot stand for that duty.
Sure.
I kill them.
Inside your Johnny Brand scope. Multiple bodies drop when the Mac blow. Headshots, body shots, probably live, probably not. Shotty pop. Do it until his body drop. Let it go. I'm about to go little Larry on. Twin things you can feel with the boy carry on. I'm about to go little Larry on. Twin things you can feel with the boy carry on. I told you once, I told you twice. Hustlers on the night. And bitch, I own the night. Never slipping, I'm on it right.